As per usual, I am waiting for at least 10 persons to be here before I start talking. Thank you so much. As you enter the live, please press the thumbs up and it will help to propagate the live so more people can find it. Thank you guys. Thank you for pressing the like. I'm expecting a phone call, guys. But I thought I'd come on 15 minutes early that I could chit chat with you and just so the live start to get sent out by YouTube. If you want to say hi to let me know that you're here, I know a lot of my subscribers are often silent viewers, but maybe you could chat to me here so I can entertain you and you can entertain me until I get the phone call. But in tonight's topic, what we're looking at is, or maybe discussing or asking the question about how safe are women in Jamaica. Um, Sometimes I'm not sure the kind of discussions we can have here because so much is censored on YouTube. I'm going to find creative ways to play around this. But this young lady I'm going to introduce to you, she would rather not have her face on camera, but she doesn't mind telling her story. And if she doesn't call tonight, I do understand because you just have to be very careful. Wherever you are in the world, you have to be careful as women, as people in general. But in Jamaica, I know you have to operate with great caution. So I'm expecting her call at 9, and hopefully we can have this conversation. If not, I can just read. So if I see now, I'm going to give her until 9:05, 9:05, 9:10. Bless up, humble lion. I'm going to give her about 10 minutes after. And if she doesn't call, then I'll probably start reading some of the stuff that she shared with me. So again, guys, can you press the thumbs up? Help me share this live so we can get a few more persons because this is not just about their problem, it's our problem. I'm Jamaican and I always go home and I still have, relatives living there. I have friends living in Jamaica. And I thought the story she was sharing with me was important enough to go live and to have her tell it. And if she's not here to tell it, I'm going to tell it. I'm just a little tired of always telling other persons or other people's story. But this one is important to me and it's very concerning. And I am not at all surprised. Not a surprise. I suspect, I've always said that I think some of the activities in Jamaica are not just from men. Women are very much involved in some of these things and facilitate some terrible things that are happening in Jamaica. Oh yes, Umbo. Um, you mean issues with women, being involuntarily transported? Women are not safe anywhere when you think about it. But in some parts, especially in African spaces, I don't know what it is the African women have that they want so badly, but it's very scary, extremely. Do you want to share with us, Humble Lion, what you say you're having in the United States? Please press the thumbs up, guys. Press the thumbs up. There's 12 of us here. If you don't mind, can you press the thumbs up so more people can see the live? Yeah, yeah. Don't say it. Your last comment, are you able to delete that, Humble? You just have to play with the words, and YouTube is very, very particular about some of these conversations. So we just have to speak in code. So if it's possible, or maybe I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Yeah, yeah, yes. And that's exactly what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're talking about here. But it's been done in some very strange way. Listen, social media is great when it comes to giving out information, connecting with people. I love it, but there's the dark side of the net that a lot of our families, our friends, a lot of people don't know. They're not aware of it. Bless up, Norma. How are you? Um, People use the internet or social media to do some terrible things. And in the age of freeness and liberation in every aspect of life, people use this method to meet people. And I'm telling you, it's not safe. Is it traveling women from outside of Jamaica? No, not just the traveling women outside, particularly the women and young girls. And there's a pattern that I'm seeing, a certain age group that seems to be attracting a lot of negative attention. I think the fact that we can say the word tell us exactly, exactly. Listen, I just started going live. No, sorry. I had a TikTok page for a year and I never really told my subscribers about it because I like to just grow, in different spaces and meet new people and whatever. So I didn't really advertise it to my subscribers. But then I came very close to the threshold where I could go live. So I asked for my followers to support it. And let me tell you, the moment my daughter linked my TikTok to my YouTube, back to back, I got strike. I got strike because I was talking about um, the high cost of living. I didn't know that was a bad thing. I was just showing my grocery bill and I was just showing, information about rent and mortgage and stuff like that. And the video was taken down. I had to appeal it and there was no grounds to keep it down. So they put it back. And then the next one was when I was showing you guys what the neighbor was doing. And they took it down. First, they said they're taking it down because it's dangerous activity. And I thought, wow, TikTok is that sensitive where somebody's on a ladder and it's a problem. And I guess that wouldn't stick. I appealed. And then they came back with another finding saying that it was harassment. Can you imagine? I was being harassed. I was the one who was being bothered. And they turned it around and said that they'd taken it down for harassment and bullying. Anyway, I realized one thing, and I'm going to leave it at that for now. So, you see, when it comes to teaching and uplifting stuff, you're going to always find fights. So now we know what these platforms are about. We still use them and we are grateful for the opportunity to use them, but we never get lost in them. Guys, can you please, those of you who just came in, can you please tap up the live by pressing the thumbs up? Thank you so much. Because the notification um, needs to go out. And I'm hoping she doesn't get scared and cancel because I can tell her the story, guys. I'm just trying to kill some time here. I can tell her the story, but I would prefer if she told it. And I didn't listen to all of it because I told her, let's just have a conversation here. It's the music and videos in our entertainment that fuels it. Yeah, well, that's part of the problem, Umbo. That's part of the problem, but it's not the whole problem because the truth of the matter is some of these new artists are being encouraged to say some of those things. They're benefiting, they're being rewarded for saying those things because if you can keep people on that frequency, then you can do all kinds of stuff. So they don't have a problem with the music. They pretend like they have a problem with the music. They have a problem with music that uplifts the people, that teach them to know their power, know their rights, and so on and so forth. Let's see what time it is. Just 6 more. Let's give her a few more minutes. It's a lot of young women being unalive simply because they want to leave. Sometimes some of these are domestic things, and the thing about it, it's not like it's new. There's not a trend. It was always like that, but we didn't have social media, didn't have people showing this, they didn't have people realizing that this is wrong and using their platform to bring awareness to it. I remember when I was about 18 years old, I was living in Spanish Town. And I remember going into a shop to purchase something, and this guy and his girlfriend came to the shop, and I don't know what she said, but all I know is she was on the ground and he was stomping. Thank you so much, Chutik. Yeah, he was stomping on the human being, and people stood there and watched. People were looking on. No one said anything. And then someone was saying, "Oh, it's not our problem because tonight you're gonna see them in, hands and hugging up, so we don't care." So it's a long time thing, and I've seen girls being dragged by a male, and it's so disturbing to me to this day because I was about 18 at the time. Because I remember my age because I just moved to that community, and I was going for a walk with my in-law and saw this guy dragging this child. She could have been no older, young girl, no older than 15. And I remember because the road was made from stones. You know, when they pour the stones and press it with the roller, it didn't have like, it was not asphalt or anything, just gravel. And when he was dragging her, and she was calling out for help. And I said to the lady, I said, "Aren't you going to help her? Aren't you going to say something?" And she says, "No, I don't care. Serve her right because she should have been at her house." And the other teenage girl was talking to the boy that was doing it and saying, "Don't do that. I thought you were a friend. Don't do this to my friend, please." And begging and beseeching. And he was throwing stones at the other girl, saying that she better go away before she got her own. So I don't want anybody to come and tell me that, this place is paradise. It's a beautiful country. There are beautiful people there, but this thing has been going on forever, and people are forced to be silent. If you see the situation with Queen Africa, people want her to be silent indefinitely. She just take it and don't say anything. And the sad thing is, your family can be your worst enemy. It's family, it's friends who are going behind people's back and making deals and luring people into all kinds of dangerous situations. So this young woman that's I'm waiting for called me up to tell me about some strange phone calls that she have been receiving. She has been receiving these strange conversations from women, and it's so scary to me. That's why I wanted to highlight it so that other girls and women can hear the story, because it's so easy to get caught off guard. Guys, can you please press up the like for me? Only because I want this to the notification to go out. There's 20 people here. If it's possible, can you click out and just press the like button, and let's see if we can get at least 10 more persons. And I'm waiting for someone to call. Um, we are 1 hour ahead. In Canada, it's now 2 minutes to 9, and in Jamaica, it's 8. So I'm a little early. I did say I was going to come on live at night, but when it comes to, I'm a person like this. If I have to be somewhere for 2 o'clock, I'm going to be there at 12:30. I like to be on time. I respect other person's time, and so she's not really late. But yes, as I was saying, now Jamaica is a global community. It's a global community as far as the internet is, the different ways how we socialize or how we engage with people. We have WhatsApp. I mean, when was the last time you picked up your phone and made a long distance call? Because you have WhatsApp, you have this social network that allows us to communicate with people. on a daily basis. And as it is good that way, it is very bad that way because people get to see your movements, and I would tell anybody who's watching right now to stop posting your location. In fact, if it's possible not to put your location on your phone, do not do that. I still see people saying, oh, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be there, still announcing their whereabouts in 2023. I think that's crazy. I see people doing live, what do you call it, live tours. People are allowing folks, what do you call it, when people buy a house or they move into a new apartment and they give these tours, apartment tours or house tour or whatever. Listen, a bank or any government facility wouldn't just hand out their plan or their floor plan to just about anybody. Or I don't see why I would do that. So it's not that I wouldn't allow persons to see different parts of my home, but I would never show you my entire home, every crevice and every corner. That's so scary. Yeah, isn't that crazy, Angela? You, you can't do that. Remember, sometimes I think what's happening with people who are on social media, it's such a nice feeling to know that you can connect with people, and if people are watching you for years, you feel like you have this friendship, you feel like you're family, but these are strangers. Some people you'll never meet, and there are people who are on the social media platform that may seem nice, but they're not. Some of them are very dangerous. If you've seen things in the past where you have persons who say they're fans, they do hurt to the people who they claim that they love. So you just have to be very careful. It's an illusion. The idea that we are, close and we are friends and we love each other. You can build relationship with people, but I don't know you and you don't know me. Therefore, why would I give you any kind of access to me without getting to know you very close? You know what I mean? I know a local YouTuber who drives around and I can see scary. Exactly. That's the next thing too. Like people know communities. People can tell. Like there are times when I go for a walk and I would say to folks, please, if you know where this is, don't say it in the comment section. Because I find that to be very scary. It's not that I want to go around and just not trust people, but we just have to be very, very careful. Let me give her a call and see if she's available. And if not, I'm going to start without her. And if she does call, then she can go into clarifying this. Let me give her a call. And if she's not answering, then I'll just read some of the stuff that she sent me. So I don't know because she says sometimes her internet goes off. So I'm just going to just share some of what she shared with me. You'll find that out about me. When it comes to time, I'm a stickler on time. I don't wait for anybody. My time is very valuable. So, I don't wait around, and it's Monday. What is this, Monday night? Yeah, today's Monday. I'm not going to have you guys staying on the internet all night just to listen to a story. Okay. So let's scroll up a little bit and see what she told me. Bear with me for a moment here. I just want to find the exact place where I'm comfortable sharing. Uh, as you can see, it's quite a bit of conversation. Anyway, she starts off by telling me 2 years ago, I had a vision with her and I told her what I saw. And a warning was in that vision. So when she reached out to me recently, she says, Auntie Jenny, I think the time for your vision is now. A young lady recently DM'd me telling me about a program to travel. According to her, she saw my videos and said that I deserve a breakthrough. So I have been asking her questions because I don't know, I don't wear trust on my sleeve. And then someone said earlier, you named the thing, I think it was Lion. You named the problem that is existing in the world as it relates, especially to Black women and Black girls. So she said because she's aware of it, she was, her antenna went up. But she said she thought he was weird when he asked she's a lady. She said she thought the person was weird when they start asking her she's a Christian. So she said, I remember your vision in 2021 that a female was going to invite me out and I shouldn't take the offer. That dream was so clear. And this young lady, someone that I've been talking to over the years. So I have made that connection with her. And so when I got the dream, I had to warn her to say, do not accept that invitation, right? So as soon as she said it to me, I said to her, do not meet her anywhere. Do not provide her with any information about where you are, about, just be very, very careful because it's like the alarm went off. I'm like, yeah, this very much could be it based on what she's saying. So anyway, the lady told her that she's Jamaican and that she travels with girls outside of the country and that she was able to take them on vacation and do all these things with them. And she so happened to be inviting this young girl to meet her. She even said that she could come right away and she would take her to the airport. Now, I'm so happy, not just that I had warned her that something strange like this was going to happen, but that she has sense because they're playing on people's vulnerability. They're playing on the fact that people are poor and people are struggling and the country is not in the best state right now. In Jamaica, I noticed you all don't have Uber, so people jump in crowded cars to get where they're going. So they just, yeah, but they do have private, depending on where they are in the city. So this person tells her this sweet story saying that I watched your video and you're such a nice person and you deserve a breakthrough. Now, listen, every hair on the back of my neck stand up because that happened to another young lady that I met about a year and a half ago, where someone reached out to her on Facebook and told her that, all these things were happening to her and it's because demons were on her and the person said that it could help her break free. Now, listen, most people are going through one kind of problem or not. If we are African, there's a chance that we are traumatized by something. And so when the person reached out, it so happened that she was going through something. So, it's like a coincidence and he just lured her in. I remember telling her when she told me this person reached out and said these things, I said to her, do not go anywhere with this person. Do not meet him or her before you speak to me. But then I didn't hear from her. And by the time I heard from the young lady, she had gone to meet this man. When she went to his house, he said he was an Obia man. And when she went to the house, she said all she remember is drinking something that he gave her to drink. And when she woke up, she was feeling her nether area wet. He knocked her out and did you know what to her. And so I said, no, this is something that you need to report to the police. Because if someone is going on the internet and reaching out to young, vulnerable girls, and some people use psychologists, so when they look and see some of the things you post, they can tell you're sad. Some people are always talking about what's going on with them. So people will use those opportunities to reach out to them and then cause harm. The girl went to the house. The man violated her, and when she realized what had happened, it was too late. Of course, when she tried to get the authorities involved, they tell her to go investigate the crime really and come back and tell them how it is. Yeah, I mean, I remember saying, okay, I'll make a phone call. I made a phone call. And so the things that I said to the person, they did agree to go with her. But when she got to the house, they told her to go in the yard and see if the person still lives there while they waited outside. So I think she just decided not to bother. Um, Angela says in Jamaica, I noticed y'all don't have. Okay, that was the same thing about the Uber. So this girl got violated. I cannot count the amount of times young girls get violated and there's no recourse. If they go to report it, they're told, well, you know, we don't know how to find him. Or wait until you see him, you come and get us and we'll, they don't, police ask citizens to do their investigation, to do the work for them. So because of that, this is why I'm doing this video. And I still didn't hear from her. Oh, I see her on. Hold on. I just have a message from her. Okay, let me call her. Guys, tell me if you hear the phone, because I don't want you to miss anything. Just a moment, I'm just checking to see if I can hear you, okay? Are you there? Hello?
I'm here.
Okay. Guys on the live, can you hear her? Just so do you want to go on camera or you just want to leave it like this?
Leave it like this.
Okay. All right, so you guys can hear her well? Okay. So I'm just gonna call you B. So
Right.
I just started telling them how you reached out to me, and I want you to start telling the story from the beginning. The first time you get that phone call, how you got it, how the person got in touch with you. I'm not sure if it's a phone call or if they contacted you on social media, but go ahead. Guys, please, just a moment. Guys, I don't want you to get into her story and you're not hearing her. So just one more time telling me if you're hearing her. Go ahead.
I recently joined TikTok and I did a video in Spanish. This young lady reached out because I gave my number in Spanish. It was to people who speak Spanish. And said that she saw the video and I seem to be a talented person but need a breakthrough. And so the first thing I noticed is the number, the area code is the Dominican Republic. And so I asked her if she's in Jamaica or she's out of Jamaica. And she's like, well, I'm a Jamaican, but I live in Dominican Republic. I'm currently on vacation right now. And I'll be going back tomorrow. She was telling me how I could come to Dominican Republic to teach English without a certification, without a degree, because she asked me some questions and I told her that I have a certificate. I went to the language training center, but I don't have a degree. I didn't go to the university. And she was like, okay, no problem. But what was a red flag for me was when she told me that she's going to take someone with her tomorrow. That didn't sound right to me. And I contacted the school because she gave me the school. So I looked for them on Instagram, contacted them and asked them questions, and they told me that I have to have a degree. So I went back to her and she told me that there's still a way for me to get there. So I asked her that if I should go, I'm going to think about it. If I'm going to see her and meet her. And I noticed that she didn't mention anything about me meeting her.
Okay.
And so that was a red flag. And she seemed to be in a hurry.
So one moment. So I remember you said she was mentioning something about the airport. Can you clarify that for us? What did she say about the airport?
I asked her that how am I going to reach there? And she told me that someone will have to come and get me at the airport. And that was when I asked her, well, am I going to see you there at the airport as well? And she told me no.
Okay. So you just have to pack your things and get to the airport.
Right. And then I asked her if I could take my family along because, Canada, for instance, I recently saw someone who migrated to Canada was able to take their family members with them. So I asked if I could take my family along. And she told me that the school was just taking people, you know, who are from English-speaking countries. So I'm like, well, my family is interested in learning Spanish as well. Could they come along? And she said no.
So, of course. Because whenever you're getting a job anywhere, wherever you live in the world, there maybe your family members, your husband or your children might not be able to work in the country, but they certainly can go along with you. So that definitely was a red flag. So
right.
Okay, so that's the first time you spoke to her, and then did you speak to her again?
Yes, I spoke to her again because she wanted to know if I changed my mind.
Right.
Because I told her that I would think about it because I'm normally a person who don't act on the spot. I like to think about things properly.
Right. So did you, okay, so when was the last time you spoke to her?
Yesterday.
And?
She told me that she was preparing for the new term and how many people migrated, many teachers migrated from Jamaica.
Right.
And she really wanted to help me.
Why? What's so special about you? Why she wanted to help you? Because these teachers that are leaving would be going out and
right.
seeking their own employment. Nobody's coming to them. They're looking for their own employment.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
According to her, the reason why she wants to help me is because I have the potential.
How would she know that?
But I don't know that breakthrough.
Pardon?
She was saying that I have the potential, but I just need a breakthrough.
But how would she know your potential, though?
Follow my videos on TikTok.
Okay. So you see, these platforms are where the predators are hanging out. And so the thing is, that makes a lot of sense because here you are speaking Spanish, so there clearly is a love or interest in that language, and so what better thing to do? Carl says, teach English sounds like a possible setup. It's well known certain things are fully legal. Things are fully legal in the DRC. So he's saying there's stuff going on in DR that you know, some strange things are happening.
Right.
So how did you end the conversation with her yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
How did you end the conversation?
No, we didn't really talk much. She was just telling me about preparing for the new school term and that she's going to be a bit busy.
Oh, yes, because you wanted to make up your mind real fast.
Right.
Okay.
Because she told me that if I'm interested, I should get back to her and she can put me on to some people for interview.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about the other man that contacted you recently?
Right. But before I do so, she speaks Spanish as well.
Right.
Because I was testing her because she told me that she's from Jamaica and she's teaching Spanish over there. So I wanted to see if she could actually speak Spanish.
Okay.
And to be honest, even if you put your English together, she doesn't sound like a Jamaican. She actually sounds like a Dominican.
Oh, wow. So in your opinion, what do you think is happening? Without saying it all out, without using those words that YouTube don't want us to worry about, you know, the human thing. We don't use that expression. But you think within yourself, because you have a spirit within you that can detect when something is off. You felt like something was off, right?
Right.
So the reason why I ask you to share your story is because I don't want this happening. This is going to catch a lot of person. If this is a new method of reaching out to people and promising them pipe dreams and luring them to the airport, I'm hoping, that's why I'm asking the folks who are watching. There's like 46 person watching. I don't you all know me. Those of you who know me, I don't care about likes, but I'm asking you to press like on the video because I want it to go out there. This is very scary. This is very, very
and then
scary.
again,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when she viewed 1 minute, I feel like when she viewed my video, she maybe thought I was younger than my actual age, because this is where if I were to be working as a detective, I would have caught a lot of pedophiles.
Right.
Because I look like somebody who's a teenager.
Right.
They mistake me for somebody who's underage.
Right. Lord, the Lord God is the creator. I'm speaking to a young lady, let's call her B for now, who was approached by some individuals who claimed that they could get her a job in the Dominican Republic, and was telling her the opportunity was so great they were ready to help her right away. Were they going to provide you with the ear ticket?
Yes.
Wow.
Because she told me that when I get there, then I would work and then be able to pay back.
Wow. So and you'd have to go to the airport to be. So a lot of our young girls, our women for that matter, this is the kind of call that they get, and they don't think it through, and they go and they meet some random stranger, and you never hear or see them again. This is a big part of the problem that we're seeing with, young women going absent.
And they're using females too.
Yes, it's a girls, because you as a female, you're gonna feel more comfortable with a lady.
Right.
Right. This is just very, very scary if you ask me. So I just want the young girls in Jamaica to be fully, not young girls alone, women, but there is a target age. I can see it for a while. It was between 13 and 17 years old, and early 20s. And they're targeting these young ladies, promising them all kinds of stuff. People are not there to remind the young people, do not go anywhere in with anyone that you don't know. Don't go to any private location. Don't follow people you don't know anywhere. If for whatever reason you feel like you need to go and meet someone that you've been in touch with, you need to do it in a public space, because this is a new way how they're doing their work. And Jamaica is prime. Jamaica is prime right now. Like, yeah.
And they mostly attack people who need financial help.
Oh, yes. You're vulnerable.
And people who don't have like their family and friends surrounded, they will see you as being lonely, and they're like, oh, they don't have anybody, so they will be your family.
Mm-hmm. Bless up yourself, Kamar.
So it is usually the mind and the heart, because they will focus on your mind and to try to psychologically manipulate you, and then they will focus on your emotions as well.
Yes.
So it is very important for people to tell their children things like, you're good enough, you're amazing, because they're coming to attack that area.
Right.
Because if the family do not validate you, then they're going to come and validate you, and you are going to feel like you're flying over the moon.
Yes. Because remember, a lot of our kids are very wounded. They've never heard anyone say, I love you. They've never heard anyone say, you're beautiful. So all of a sudden, some stranger, and remember, we were taught to worship or, captors, or worship people from other places, because, they're not black. You still hear the story about black and ugly. People are still saying these things to our children. They're still, comparing their own children to other people who don't look like them. So to hear these folks, imagine a young person who hear all their life that they're not beautiful and negative things, and all of a sudden someone comes from another culture who they consider to be beautiful to start telling them these things, they right away earn their trust.
Let me just say that she's a black person like me, because I saw her photograph.
Right. But
right,
but how do you think our people were taken from Africa? Those who were, because not everybody end up in Jamaica were from Africa. But what I'm saying is, how do you think the people were able to capture our people from Africa and bring them to the Caribbean areas or regions. It is your own. It's
Right.
always your own. So they're gonna use women because you're gonna feel more comfortable talking to a woman. You're gonna use black people because you're gonna feel like you can trust them more. When there's so many of our communities that have these persons who are working behind the scenes with others to destroy their own.
And then again, what happens, because I was watching a documentary where some women, they will come to communities and meet girls and promise the family to take care of them, and then when they get to the airport, they will seize the passport and they will have to pay them a big amount of money.
Yeah. You see it all the time. Sometimes portrayed in the movies as well.
Right.
So Carl is saying that those are the worst ones. There are always some serious sellout among us participating in these activities. Therefore, don't trust them. You don't know who to trust. I don't know if you guys saw this one some years ago where the uncle took his niece and brought her to a hotel. And it was a sting operation, thank goodness. He brought the girl to the hotel for someone to take advantage or disadvantage of her. So sometimes it's the piece of people we trust the most who are up to these things. Can't trust nobody. Sorry.
Right. And what happens as well is when they traffic you, they send you to a different country where there's a language barrier. Right. So maybe if I got to DR, she would have deported me to maybe like Haiti where I don't speak French, because she did ask me if I speak French.
Right. Wow. Guys,
that was the problem. When a lot of girls go missing and they go to a country, they send them to another country where they don't understand the people.
Wow. Can you imagine?
So they cannot get
Yeah. B, don't use the T word, because if you don't speak in quotes, this stuff I was probably gonna be taken down. So try to avoid using those expressions if you can.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a new world, and people are feeding their needs and their fetish and their desires, and they're going to people who are vulnerable. They're going to nations where people are poor and desperate. And the problem is we don't have enough persons educating the young people.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Yes. We don't have enough, because the whole idea that because you know someone, the person is your neighbor, you can trust them. Because I'm sorry, it's a time when we have to be paranoid, unfortunately, because it's about safety. It's not about, trying to not offend people. It's okay to say no or say I'm not comfortable. Even you see kids will say to somebody that they don't want to be hugged. Let's say I have my daughter and my brother or a friend wants to hug my child, and my child says no, I don't want to be hugged. You would see parents force those kids to hug those individuals, and sometimes the reason why the kids are saying that is because they know that those persons are disturbed. So if you have your children, stop teaching your children to hug men, whether they're brother or your neighbor or whatever. You should teach your kids about boundary, about their own personal boundary, and not force them to go hug man or whatever. Especially nowadays, when kids take taxi, for example, they're sitting in strange people's lap, strange men's lap. You put a little teenage girl to sit in someone's lap because the bus is full or the taxi is full. That's wrong. It's like you're grooming these kids to take the advancement or advance of these older men or these very sick persons.
Exactly.
So are you still going to talk to her some more? I don't think you
I'm
should.
going to talk to Mary Needs.
Pardon?
I'm going to continue talking to her and see where it leads because I give her the impression like I'm a fool.
No, I don't. I think you should cut her off and block her because the truth of the matter is, people also with technology can find your location.
Okay.
I would not entertain her anymore. I'd cut her off. In fact, because you don't know if this, because listen, this person could be talking to you and your information could have been shared by someone you know. That's another, it's another thing. So because of that, I wouldn't entertain her. I wouldn't continue. I would make threats. I would just leave. I would not let her know that I'm onto her. Just tell her you got a job or something else came up and you're no longer interested in it. Because if it's someone who's setting you up by making her contact you, you don't want them to know that you're onto them.
Okay.
Yeah. Just sever that relationship or communication with that person. They're dangerous, and you use your opportunity to talk to the young people in your community. Right. Carl is saying cut them off. They can track you. Block and delete and share with your friends. Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. Get rid of that person. Don't let them know you're onto them, because sometimes the temptation is there for us to go and tell them we know. Sometimes you have to know and just hold that thing and not let people know that you're onto them.
Right. And another thing that was a red flag, I told her that if she don't have any hidden agenda, that she will have to take an oath before the earth and the water.
Uh-huh.
And she I didn't hear from her for a while. She's like, she don't know what spirit is.
She's afraid of it. She knows. Listen, if she's from Dominican Republic, let me tell you something. Only our people are afraid of her or our spirituality. A lot of persons from those areas, they're still very much involved in Santeria, still very much involved in their own, some are Catholic or whatever, but they still are deeply steeped in their spiritual life and spiritual activities. Their grandmothers passed it down to them, their great grandparents. So when you say that to her, she very well understand what that means. Hence, her not wanting to take the chance or the opportunity to make any oath, because she know the meaning of that.
Right.
Exactly, Carla. Yes, sorry.
So a gentleman reached out who claims to be an artist, and I look him up and realize that he's actually that person because I saw videos of him, and he claimed that he was going to help me with my music, and he works at a studio.
Mm-hmm.
He was there telling me about his house and some other things that was not related to music, so that was red flag.
Right.
And then he told me that God sent him to me, and he's a spiritual person. And he even told me the month I was born, and I don't put up my date of birth and those things on the internet. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's a spiritual person for real. But when he was like, would you have a problem being with an older man? And then I flipped it on him because he said God sent him. I told him that I would like to focus on God for now and ask God first. He blocked me.
Can you repeat that?
When he asked if I would be in a relationship with an older man, and I told him that I would like to hear from God first, and I'm really focusing on ending a relationship with God for now, he blocked me because he was telling me that I should meet him so we could go to the studio. So he too seemed to have an agenda.
But what you don't realize, they're working together. It's the same team. So when they can't reach you with the female, they have to try another thing. So here they are playing on your vulnerability that you're a young Black woman and that you are looking for better opportunities elsewhere. So when the girl thing isn't working, they're gonna come now with this older man that's gonna take care of you, because let's face it, a lot of these young girls in Jamaica are getting their sugar daddies to take care of them and to bring them out of the country. And a lot of them are facing danger after they get with this sugar daddy and think they can just leave when they want to leave. It doesn't work that way. They're in danger. So this person now says, well, she doesn't want to come with the job situation. Let's go to her at a different angle. So they're the same people working together.
But in his case, he's not talking about leaving the country.
No. But he's looking for an intimate situation with you.
And to meet me up as well.
Yeah. But when you meet him up, the result will be the same as the person that called earlier, the lady. But they're working together.
Right.
The Lord God is the creator. Everything that sounds good is not good. Be aware of the devil's traps. Yes, and Kemar says, sadly, no one wants to hear this message. I hope the masses of men committing these acts will be exposed. However, Jamaica tied itself to covering evil, bring back nuclear families, love, and pride. Listen to me. Why you think TikTok? I learned based on those 2 videos that got flagged. I realized what TikTok is. I'm just not ready to come out and say too much, but it's a trap. It's really a trap. And if you look at the people who are growing on this app, are people who live in the inner city. All you see is just the arguments and the cussing and the bad behavior, and you see individuals getting huge gifts from complete strangers because right now they're targeting these ones. They figure if we can get them to get famous and get in love with the money, we can also use the same ones to lure people. It is a scary thing. That all of these things are traps. Traps.
Right.
If you look and see what they're saying, I see people on TikToks turning on their camera and sleeping, and people sending big gifts to them, and you have thousands of persons following them, and then you have someone teaching and preaching, and they can barely get anyone to listen to them. So we understand how this is, and we know with poverty, a lot of persons can't think straight when they feel like they're going to escape that.
Right.
So this ornament. So even though you see his platform members, sometimes people will take off people's content and put it on a channel and present themselves as that person.
Right.
So when you see the thing with him and the music stuff, remember they're predators, so they're looking for opportunity to convince individuals to go with them to the place of no return. And I think this has to go out. People are focused on the wrong things in Jamaica these days. We have to send this out. And the problem is, it's not just some low blow Joe that's doing these things. These people are highly placed in the society. These individuals are in high places that are involved with this. Guys, all you can do is share it with somebody share it with a family member, share it with a friend. The young lady is telling her story of someone contacting her and telling her that she can give her all these opportunities, ready to bring her to the airport and to fly out of the island. And a person who cannot think for themselves, a person who is desperate. That's what I'm telling you. We cannot act out of desperation because we fall into all kinds of problems because of it. That so many girls just get up and leave with the intention of going to meet someone who's making promises to them and they never see them again.
Right.
So just don't answer that person. Block. Did she contact you on WhatsApp or IG?
She contacted me on WhatsApp.
Right. Block and delete.
The gentleman blocked me before I could block him.
Right. Because you see, the fact that he blocked you, he doesn't want you to have any trace with him. He doesn't want anybody to know that he was in touch with you. These people are dangerous. It's like the other young lady. Guys, just a moment, B. The other young lady, that person reached out to her on some social media thing as well and invited her. But the thing is, she was so desperate to fix this problem she was having that she said she didn't wait to hear from me. I told her, do not go until you speak to me. But there were so many red flags because he sent her a picture of red lingerie to tell her that he wants her to bring that with her when she's coming. So it's clear that he had very ill intention from the beginning, but because of what she was going through, she wasn't able to see through it. By the time she got a hold of me, it was late. Brotherhood activities to maintain their wealth. Yes, yes, yes. Awareness needs to be heightened. The recent response to medic situation is a tell. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A lot of, because some of them are involved. Some of them are involved in these things. I told you I had a vision. I think I just uploaded the video. I had a vision with her, you know, in this abandoned building.
Speaking, so the people were speaking that I could understand, but there was a voice speaking for me to understand.
Yes.
And it's not underground.
Yep. Guys, do you remember my vision with this huge place? And when I woke up, the spirit said Rotundo, a huge place, and in that room were men from and women, but particularly men from different races, right. And they were in that room, and they were drinking that red stuff. They were eating the young stuff, veal, except that veal is, imagine young stuff, and they were doing other physical activities to the very, very young. And one man was in a corner with a teenage young woman, and he was putting an injection certain part of her body. And I was shocked when I never saw that person before, but when that man, the one that was in Montego Bay that they claim was doing all these bad things, when they were taking him, right. I was shocked when I saw that man was the one leading the group of people to the place. And I'm trying to speak in quotes here. It was a real person. I'd never seen him before, but in my vision, I saw him doing that. And that man is a very high-ranking person. People from around the world. I had some vision another year, a couple years ago too, where I was in this thing that looks like a church, and all the doors were being kicked down on different race of people kicking these doors and coming in. So that's what Jamaica is now. All the doors are these spiritual doors, and these portals are opened, and the physical doors are broken. So you know what is going to happen. Oh, I know. Like I would love to, but I really want this live to stay up. Maybe in another video or so. I don't care. But this live, I'd like it to stay up because I really wanted to get to the persons who need it. Some years ago, also, I saw an article on the Jamaica Gleaner. And if you read that article, they'll give you a good idea, Barbara, of what we're talking about. It's called Time for Harvesting. And it was on the Jamaica Gleaner site or whatever. Time for Harvesting. And that article really explained a lot of what's going on now. Yes, go there and look for 2012. It was written in 2012, and it says Time for Harvesting. That was the plan, and now we can clearly see that that plan is activated. They clearly told you what their intention was and what they wanted to do, and we can see it. So I want the people to take their head out of the sand. And a story like yours, B, is something that people need to hear. We've been seeing it for years too. Like girls are taking taxis, and it's usually the girls that are luring them into these taxis. It's usually the girls who are the mastermind of these things. Women are very much involved in this. This is why they're so insensitive to the needs of other women, are insensitive to the bad things that are happening to other women. Yeah, they're all affiliated. I saw Kemar. I was listening to this young man, one of these new artists, and he was talking. This is a song they have about mad we are mad out or something to that effect. And I'm saying to myself, listen to what they're calling down on themselves. Look at the kind of spiritual energy that they're trying to evoke on the young people, because you know the kids are all going to be going to be repeating these lyrics. And when you open your mouth and speak, whatever you're talking about, you're going to invite that. The energy that is being invited is very, very scary. Again, as a dreamer, whenever I have visions or dreams, I have to speak on it when I see it materializing. Because again, remember that dream where I heard a big whoosh and someone announced that Gabriel was on the island. It was a huge, angel just landed on the island. And I've seen dreams with angels without, their head. So it's all happening, and a lot of it is very spiritual. A lot of these women or girls are being used in sinister practices. Yeah. We can't be surprised, but we have to raise the flag. We have to raise the alarm so that the young women are more aware. When you hear something, like if someone hears this message, the red flag will just come quicker, or they'll notice it more because they heard the story. So I do appreciate you sharing your story, B. I appreciate it. And is there anything else you wanted to share with the live in terms of what you notice also going on, unusual occurrences? Yeah, and I like, as far as, because what you're telling me now is something that seems so simple. Some girl calling you and sounding so concerned about your well-being. Did you tell any of your family members about it? Why didn't you tell them? Which is probably something you shouldn't do. This is, people talk to me. This is why it's so scary, because this is something that you think you would be right. Because maybe you shouldn't, because you don't know if anybody in your family is, or any friends or anybody who is behind this kind of thing. Yeah. So let me tell you, when she started sharing the story with me, people, like I said, I felt like it was urgent for us to have this conversation. I was just waiting for the right time. Mhm.
January the 1st, 2021, about meeting up with a female.
Go ahead. Go ahead and tell him how long ago I told you that dream.
The 1st of January 2021, I never forget the date.
And what was the dream?
The dream was not to meet with a female. She's going to offer me to come out, and then you told me that the mode of transportation, it was like a vehicle, but it may not be a vehicle, that just may be symbolic.
Right.
And so while I was talking to her, immediately it's like I was hearing your voice reminding me of the dream.
Wow. Wow. I'm so happy I shared that with you. But in that vision, the person, I was on the bus and saw the person inviting you somewhere and telling you to come, and it seems so, it was so exciting that you were coming off the bus to go with her. And in my dream, I came to you and whispered to you not to go.
Right.
Mhm.
And he's not the only person that invite me out. Many people invite me out.
Yeah. So now we know, we can at least have an idea what's happening. The people need to be aware of it. But the thing is, sometimes when you try to raise the alarm, people look at you like something is wrong with you. They don't listen very well, people. You try to tell them and they attack the ones who are trying to teach them. It's so unfortunate and it's so frustrating. And sometimes you just feel like you don't care, you just want to let it be. But then if you care about your own people, you care about your country, you care about the young ones, you still have to come back and continue, you know?
Right.
Guys, before she goes, can you please tell her your opinion of what she should do? Because I'm telling her not to be in touch with this person anymore. But what is your opinion? Do you think she should talk to them some more? Should she take the number and give it to the police? And that's scary too, because you don't know who you can trust. But I just want to hear your opinion. Yeah. Should she block and delete the person, or should she report it to the authority? Guys, I'm asking you for your opinion. I don't know if it's frozen. The comments are not moving anymore. Anyway, folks will see this live after it's over, and I guess they'll participate then. I found that video you was talking about harvest time on Jamaica. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. Read it, read it. Everything that you see in that article is what we see playing out in front of us right now. Very, very scary. The first time I saw that article, it was given by one of my young friends, Randy. He did a post, and I read that. I read it, and when I saw it, I thought it was important enough to talk about it. Yeah. So Carly's saying block and delete, and share it with your friends so everyone knows. And I guess he's trying to say, don't bother going to the police, because a lot of times, even when you have evidence, another young friend of mine, you know, was beaten up and went to them, and they didn't do anything, and the person left the country, and she just have to live with what happened to her. So I mean, people don't have any faith in these individuals anymore. Continue to look out and just be vigilant. But the fact that you block and delete doesn't mean that you're safe. So now you have to heighten your awareness to know, okay, I don't know who this person is. I don't know if I was targeted. So because of that, use good judgment. Don't try not to stay out late if you can avoid it. You know, don't open your door to random strangers. Don't have conversation, because even when you're walking on the road and a car slows down to offer you a ride, even if you say no, if you have this person driving slowly behind you, run or make alarm, because people can be in a vehicle and they can, do the worst. So try to be aware of your environment. Yeah. And warn the young people. Pardon?
Location to anybody.
Never, 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 never give out your location to anybody.
A lot of people, I notice that when they go out, they post where they're at.
Right. I was talking about I was talking about that. And Carly's saying, watch your social media accounts. Don't accept friends' requests from folks you don't know on Facebook.
No, it's not Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. It's TikTok.
Yeah, I know. But he's also saying that any of the other social media platforms, just be aware. Be aware, and you just can't trust anybody. And also do not discredit your gut feelings. When your spirit tells you something, pay attention. Don't make people tell you something is wrong with you. Something is wrong. What you're saying doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to make sense to them. It makes sense to you.
Yes. Or they will tell you that you're trusting truth. You're being paranoid.
Yes. Better to be paranoid, to be honest with you, in this time. Yeah, discernment. I'll pray for it because not everyone has discernment. The Lord is the creator. A lot of persons we all have the ability to, because we all, our discerning spirit is very much there, but it needs to be activated. And a lot of times when it is activated, we don't trust what we hear. We question it. So we do the opposite of what the spirit tells us to do because we don't trust it. We think, oh, it's something in my mind. My mind tell me. No, the spirit is talking to you. And a lot of time when we don't listen after the fact, we have big regrets. So over time, learn to trust your feelings, trust your gut. Question the other person, don't question yourself.
Right. And it's important to be skeptical of anybody that don't want you to ask any question.
Right.
To something.
Right. That's because people get annoyed and irritated because you're asking questions. They have something to hide.
Yes, because she was saying, I noticed that you're hesitant and you're asking so many questions, and I just want to help you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what you should be. The only thing I'm sorry to ask her, why you want to help me? What's so special about me? Of all the people that are in this country, what makes me so special?
I did ask her, she said she just want to help and do good for people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, very dead. So now we know that there's some Spanish people in Jamaica going around and luring people into what possibly could be a very terrible situation, if I can say it mildly. If the thing is,
and maybe not just Spanish speak, there could be others as well, like that speak other languages.
Of course, but at least we know her. We can point up because sometimes our people, they're quick to judge each other. They look at somebody who look like them and say, "Well, I don't trust you," because they program us to not trust each other. But then we have an open arms situation with other people.
Right.
You understand? So remember, some of these other places in the world, that is what they do. That is they've been doing those things for generation. There's a history with some of these other places, and now they're just come. So keep in mind, we have ships that dock on the island, and I've been saying this for years. They dock on the island and leave the same day. People fly into the country and they leave on the next flight. So it's not a situation where, oh, you got to take a boat to go there and travel on the ocean for 10 days and have to wait for another week to get another one to go. It's not like that. It's a rotating door. People are in and out, in on one flight, out on the next one, you know? Yes, Carl. Yes. The situation that I saw the other day with the TikTok made me realize that OMG, this thing is wide and deep. And the only thing we can do is just to be sensible in our approach to deal with all of these things. Yep, Kamar. Yes, everything else is great. Everything else is wonderful. But we don't trust our neighbor. We might know the neighbor for many years. Not that we should be trusting people, but I'm saying you could know someone for years and you have your antenna up and your guard up, and you meet a random stranger tomorrow and you just open up and let them in.
Right.
Yeah. So I was on the live about 15 minutes before you came. I wanted to keep it, it's Monday nights. A lot of persons have to go to work, so I didn't want to keep them on too late. I'm going to say, just hold on the live for a moment. I'll talk to you, and then I'm going to just say goodbye to the folks on live, okay? One moment. Guys, thank you so much. There's like 30 person here right now. Earlier, there was about 50, which is wonderful to me. I don't know about other people. I don't need to see a million or 1,000 people. 50 person is good enough for me. If 50% tell one more person, that's 100 more that didn't know. You know what I mean? And right now there's 31 of you here. 31 persons share with 2 persons, and those 2 persons share with 2 more persons to make them aware of what's happening in Jamaica. And some people know, they turn a blind eye. Some of these people are very much involved in the whole practice, and they're pretending like they don't know what's happening. Poverty is a horrible situation. It's leading to all kinds of bad things that's happening, and we just have to be aware of it, and just give us ourselves time to say, you know, things are not going so well right now, but have hope, have faith, you know, hold on a bit. I know it's easier said than done, but you can't trust anybody now. I'm sorry to say. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. We're talking for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Thank you for commenting and liking up the video and sharing your thoughts. Bless up yourself, Kemar. Always good to see you. Yeah. Yes, guys, before you, yeah, well, right now it's at 35 and 37 likes, so that's good. And guys, you can come back when it's posted and you can continue your conversation in that. And warn the people, talk to your children, talk to your loved ones, your family members that are in Jamaica so they're aware of what's happening. Have a good night, everyone. Stay blessed. Carl, the Lord God is the creator. Monday, Hemar, Barbara, Karen. Thank you guys for coming and sharing your thoughts. Shutek, I think. Humble Lion, Norma. Bless up yourself, everybody. Have a good night.